It is a beautiful day for a motor race here at Charlotte, just outside the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're at the half-mile dirt track oval. Inside it, we have the Showdown in Charlotte. It's stop number 10 of TORC, the off-road championship presented by AMSOIL. The fans starting to make their way in. The motor medic crew, safety crew down there getting ready as well. You see the track lined out. It is a perfect night for racing. Things are starting to cool down, but I promise you, and it sounds corny, things are going to start heating up because we're right next to the big track, that big mile-and-a-half oval where you might see the NASCAR cars or trucks hit the track. Well, we've got 900 horsepower on a little track. Tight turns with jumps, and these fans have come out to see it at the dirt track in Charlotte. I'd like to welcome everybody here on site, but also around the world that are watching at TORCseries.com. I'm Robbie Floyd. This is Scott Rain. You'll meet our third member a little bit later. For those of you fans watching the Fox Sports crew, you already know her as Case Osborne, and as well as Miss TORC. We saw her last night as well. Welcome to night number 2 of our 2 nights of racing here in Charlotte, and last night was spectacular.
Oh, the fun started for me on Friday when there's tours going on at the super speedway.
Yep.
But yet all of a sudden the fans start hearing the noise, the practice, something's going on in the distance. Next thing you know, all the track personnel, the people that work here at the speedway, we're throwing them in the cars and bringing them over here to watch us practice. And that's when the fun started. New fans, new to the sport. I know there's a bunch of people here for the first time. I want to call out Mike and his wife, my cousin, are here for the first time. They've never seen this kind of thing, and they're big, huge NASCAR and drag race fans. So I hope you guys have a good time tonight, as well as many other people are here for the first time.
Yeah, talk about the mile-and-a-half track that's to our right, but to the left you also have the drag strip as well. Bruton, he's got some fine facilities here, in between all the parking, everything else around here. I mean, they're making a vacation of it, but it's a great site. A lot of the NASCAR, headquarters around these areas, museums and everything else. But we're going to be, again, live on TORCseries.com for all the fans that are here in attendance. You know it's going to be a great time, but tell your friends to tune in to TORCseries.com. We're going to step aside for just a bit and be right back.
To rally. We want you and a friend to join us for the AMSOIL America Adventure this October. The week-long rally starts in Deadwood, South Dakota and wraps up as VIP guests at the Monster Energy Cup in Las Vegas. The trip is more than just a car ride. Each day, the goal is to beat your competition in unique challenges and missions to earn points towards the game's grand prize to be awarded in Vegas. Register at AMSOILRacing.com for your chance to win an all-expenses-paid entry for 2 into the AMSOIL America Adventure.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. You take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up. You should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up. And nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N Performance air intake system. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed. Pushing you even closer to that blurry line between kick-ass and whiplash.
TORC, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by AMSOIL, the pulse of performance, and by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera, and by Aturo Tires, performance within reach, and by Pep Boys, trust the boys to get you there. It's going to be a great night for racing because things are starting to literally cool down temperature-wise. About 100 degrees for those of you watching around the world. The fans are starting to work their way in the stands, and they're actually going to be shaded. A nice little – did we kind of set that breeze a little different tonight? It's now look like it's blowing from left to right instead of at our backs. But speaking of breeze, I'd like to ask everyone if you would please pay attention down there to the front of the grandstands. If you would, please take off your hats. And tonight's invocation from Racers for Christ, Mr. Tommy Pressler.
Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you today for this beautiful day that you blessed us with this day. And Father, we just thank you for this country, that you allowed it to be independent, Lord, and you blessed it to be an independent nation, Lord, so, Father, we can have things such as racing. And God, we just ask you to be with the drivers tonight. And dear Lord, we ask you, dear Lord, to not let one driver go out on the track without having your hand on them. Be with them in the absence of their families and get us all home safe. Father, we love you, and we thank you, and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. And if you would also please remain standing and keep your hats removed. We introduce our colors, pay tribute to our soldiers here in the U.S. and around the world with our color guard, the Rowan County Veterans Honor Guard, and followed by our national anthem sung by Miss Christy Len.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the rule of perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
For a chance at a dream. These risk takers, they're chasing a dream of their own. But to achieve it, they need to go all in. One wrong move and they'll find themselves flipping end over end. One hesitation could mean complete failure. One miscalculation, and the dream they're chasing could simply slip away. Only the fearless will accept this challenge, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. Not because it's safe, but because the reward outweighs the risk. The road less traveled is less traveled for a reason. Stick around to see what makes these warriors battle for their place in history. 3 races, 1 chance at glory, no looking back. TORC, the off-road championship begins.
All right, you see the fans making their way back up there in the stands. They probably tested out some of that delicious ice cream that I just had just before I walked
told you.
I walked up here. It was very good. Was it Brewster's? I think it is. Welcome, everybody in the stands also from around the world watching on TORCseries.com. Also want to remind everybody about the Atturo tire swag. I think if you hashtag TORC and hashtag Atturo, you got to be eligible. Those are things you need to do throughout the night.
Okay, quality and performance do not have to be expensive. It's breakdowns that cost you real money. Protect your equipment with long-life synthetic oils and fluids from AMSOIL, the pulse of performance. Talk to a dealer today or visit AMSOIL.com. And GoPro, maker of the world's most versatile cameras, enabling people to capture compelling, immersive photos and video content. is proud to be the official camera sponsor of the TORC Off-Road Championships. Visit GoPro.com for the latest news and videos. And race fans, Arturo Tires is proud to be the sponsor of another exciting night of racing featuring some of the most daring drivers of the TORC series like the 43 Travis Dinsmore Pro Lite and the 151 Andrew Carlson Pro Lite coming out in just a moment. For the Pro Tires that put performance within reach, visit our booth or go to Arturo.com. And Pep Boys is now the largest speed shop chain in the country. They have over 150 locations across the country with more on the way. Brands racers recognize and trust like K&N, Cooper Tire, and more. Go to pepboys.com/speedshop to check out all the speed shop locations nationwide. Proud to be a TORC Series sponsor.
What I was talking about for all you Twitter followers out there and people here in the stands, make sure you hashtag TORC and hashtag Arturo. That's ATTURO. Miss TORC, Tiffany Stone will actually pick a winner from the stands. Throw that in there and do some stuff. So I think all you have to do is prove it by maybe showing Tiffany yourself that it came from your phone. So we'll pick a winner. You get some Arturo Tire swag and maybe even get an autograph from an Arturo Tire driver, you think?
Older guys that don't know exactly what a hashtag is, it's a pound sign. Pound sign.
All right, you see, and there was the Arturo Tire driver that I was talking about.
Whoa, we've got an exciting front row.
Bobby Runyon.
Whoa.
Hey, and let's talk about that. In all of our classes today, they invert the top 6 in points. Bobby's been outside the top 6 in points until tonight. This weekend, actually. He did it last weekend in Crandon, but he held on to it last night, even after a crash today in practice. But he's going to get a start on the front row for the very first time. It's got to be an awesome night for him.
Yeah, it was I believe it was the left front suspension area. The guys were working very hard this afternoon. But the thing is, he's in a great spot. The perfect spot to start this race, but he's got a bunch of fire-breathing dragons right there in row 2, 3, and 4.
And one of them being, so Bobby Runyon's going to be on the inside of row number 1. You see him at bodybuilding.com. Wishes for Warriors, Raging Bull Motorsports, Nissan with the Falcon tires. He's looking to get the whole shot and run away with it. It's going to be a little different than the kart racing and maybe the open wheel stuff that he used to drive growing up.
Well, he's had a learning curve without a doubt. He's won in everything he's been in except off-road. He's just breathing fire now to get on that podium for the first time.
He's next to Travis Dinsmore out of Paris, Ontario, Canada, all on Arturo tires. The Sleeco Plastics, Yukon Gear, Aeromotive, Thermotech machine. Travis, I think, is looking forward to this start because of the uncertainty of Bobby being to his right.
Exactly. Here's our second row inside. Out of Loveland, Colorado, driving the Kenda Tire Pack Race Springs AMSOIL entry, the 27 of Sean Morris.
Kyle Hart sits third in points. He's trying to get back in that positive groove. They think they might have figured something out. We'll find out if that's the case. Drives for Walker Evans Racing, Maxxis, and AMSOIL out of Louisiana, the 41 of Kyle Hart.
And how about this? Luke Johnson, the son of the famous Ricky Johnson and Stephanie Johnson out of Southern California, driving the Cooper Tire Red Bull Multicam RPM Off-Road, number 14.
How come you didn't say the famous Stephanie Johnson and his dad's Ricky Johnson? That's the way Stephanie.
No, now I know I'm going to be hearing about that.
The 81 on the Johnland Racing Team, Cooper Tires AMSOIL 40s from Temecula, California. The fastest driver these past few months has been Doug Matag, coming off of 2 wins last night, winning in the lights and the 2-wheel drives.
This kid has been learning a lot every single round of racing. He's a rookie in off-road, to say nothing being a rookie in Pro Light. Number 151 out of Big Lake, Minnesota, one of the best snowcross racers in the world. He is driving for AMSOIL, Sport Tech, Best Western, and FXR Outdoors. That's the 151 of Andrew Carlson.
Cam Reimer starting in the 8th spot out of Ogden, Iowa. He's just had bad luck, but he's trying to get that confidence back. He told me he did a little bit of a tire tweaking as well. Still using those tires, but a little different cut today, and we'll see how that works out on the liquid wrench. Max Wheels Ford, look out for the 21.
He also told me to mention some of his fans out there. The guys from Hostile Wheels and Maxon are here this weekend, so let's cheer this kid on. Right next to Cam Reimers is Colton Moore out of Crum, Texas, driving the Polaris Razor Mystic Lubricants Kicker Audio number 31.
Flying Dutchman Off-Road, AMSOIL Nissan out of Wisconsin, Chad Rayford in the 29, the 55 of Jake Lunderby. Look for him in the Maxxis Toyota out of Montana.
From right here in Charlotte, it's the 15 of Jesse Johnson running for Husqvarna and Maxxis Tire, alongside of Hans Ada, the number 5 from Marietta, Ohio.
Last night we had a 16-lap final, and I'll tell you, Bobby knows how to get the whole shot. He comes down the front straightaway. Bobby Runyon Jr. out in front, bodybuilding.com. Now he's trying to pull away. You see the Sleeko Plastics truck on the inside. Now Luke Johnson on the outside. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide here.
Wasn't able to make the rotation. He's pushing so often, bouncing off the tire markers. They're 6 wide in turn 2.
And it's just so slippery, and Bobby's still in a good position. And they got to shut it down here. This is where he went off the track and hit the wall. Look at that.
Leaning, still having problems.
Something's wrong with Luke Johnson. He's dead in the water. Now he gets it going. Luke Johnson was dead in the water. It looked like he had a chance for first and drops back to 5th.
Watch out, that inside exit up on 2 wheels. Bobby Runyon, he's having problems rotating that truck. Meanwhile, up front, it's Travis Dinsmore, Mr. Consistency, the last 4 or 5 rounds of racing.
Look at how muddy it is, and look at Sean Morris starting to sneak in there, the Kenda Tire entry. Look at how muddy it is. It always is that first race. It's just something you have to deal with. But Bobby Runyon Jr. just ran around him on the outside.
But can he make the turn? This is where the problem's been. He's having side bite and forward bite problems. He'll slide sideways. Sean Morris goes inside. Again, Bobby Runyon off the track trying to get back on, and he'll lose 1 spot in the process.
He gets tremendous traction on the outside in that dirt running off the track. Luke Johnson looks to be fast and trying some different lines. Remember, he was up in front, and the last time he went to that right-hander, the truck just shut off on him.
Yeah, and right now you can see the mud is very thick and very heavy, even though we're starting to see dust on parts of the track. But right now, already on lap number 2, it looks like these trucks got to be weighing another 2, maybe 250 pounds heavier with all that mud.
Everyone, that there is a competition caution after the halfway point. So after the 8th lap, we will re-rack them and restack them. Right now, your top 5, Travis Dinsmore, Sean Morris, Luke Johnson, Kyle Hart, and Bobby Runyon Jr. Doug Matag started in 6th, and he's in 6th. Extra series points leader. He might gain 1 here, though.
He just got inside of Bobby Runyon, biked up on 2 wheels, able to save it, and here comes Jesse Johnson now. In that Poulan Pro number 15, that black and yellow truck, right now behind Doug Matag. And Bobby Runyon's got to be having handling problems. He's just he's starting the pole, and he just keeps working his way backwards.
He can't get it to rotate. He can't get it to rotate, and that might be not having a double brake pedal, getting the back end to swing around. I know Luke Johnson does have that, and that's when you get on the back brakes instead of all 4 at once. It wants to bring that truck around.
A lot of the guys even have it by a handle brake like that, much like you see in some of the race on the short course in the Midwest. But yeah, Doug Matag starting to work his way forward once again. He had a tremendous night, obviously. One of the exciting guys to watch. He'll pull inside of Luke Johnson. Johnson has the outside line, barely able to get back on.
Yeah, remember, Luke Johnson sits 2nd in points behind Doug Matag, but that's a 20-point differential. Doug made 2 more up on him yesterday. Luke's looks fast in sections, but has problems in the others. But isn't that the case at every race, isn't it?
Yeah.
You always have your good parts and your bad. And look at how wide he goes.
Just glances off the outside cement wall on the oval, and just no harm, no foul. Fender's made out of fiberglass. Keep her gigging.
Dinsmore is out in front by about, what, 1.5 seconds almost. This is the race for 3rd. Luke Johnson and Doug Matag, 2nd and 1st in points respectively. As you look at it, look at that roost. When Luke set up into that turn, he just got on the throttle and gave Doug a face full of mud.
At the same time, they're aimed right at the sun, so he got double kicker right there.
Speaking of kicker, suspension needs to be set up in that roller section. Not quite woods, more like, I don't know, kind of like rollers, but you have to time them right. Look at the attitude of both of those trucks. Both look good there. Luke a little front end high. When you're front end high and you catch the back end and wants to slam the front, and here comes Sean Morris.
Lap times for these 2 drivers are absolutely unbelievable. Fast lap goes to 47:33 for Travis Dinsmore. Right now it's 47:38 for Sean Morris, running 1 and 2.
Yeah, 5/100ths of a second difference on that last lap. And Morris is trying to look for a little good luck as well. I mean, he just really hadn't had his late, but right now.
Oh, big contact. That
wasn't luck.
A big slap.
That was a racing move there. There was no luck involved there.
Yeah, that was basically flexing your muscle. You open the door, I'm going to take it, I'm going to take it hard.
Now, how is that truck set up? Is it for the muddier conditions? Because we know it should dry out now a little bit as this race progresses.
Yeah, and the thing is also the berms are starting to form on the outside. Up on 2 wheels. Everybody, our top 4 trucks, all 4, have biked up on 2 wheels coming back on turn 4 of the oval. So there may be a form running there, or maybe they're just off a little bit. Oh, big time contact. I'm just seeing stuff all over the place. I don't know what to call.
Watch your monitor. Watch your monitor. This is Luke Johnson and Doug Matag right there. Luke's in 3rd. No, he's not anymore. Matag has position.
Is.
Now he's got position. Keeps him wide. But now Luke's going to get a little bit better traction on this outside, and he's now going to be set up on the inside of this single right-hand turn. There's only one right-hand turn on this track.
Yeah, I was actually talking to the guys that are familiar with stock car racing or sprint cars. Do you set up these things for the left-hand turns to kind of suffer a little bit on that one single right hand? And everyone wants to go with that even front end, the same tire pressures in the front and the different tire pressures in the back, but they want to keep it vertically the same, horizontally different.
Luke Johnson with a rearview mirror full of Doug Matag, if he had a rearview mirror in that truck. But one thing about Matag, and Katie and I were talking to him earlier, Matag said he was setting up for the first half of this race. He wanted a little bit lower gear. He knew he'd have to work his way through some of these drivers. That's great at the first, but it'll also hurt you as the race goes on if it does begin to start getting a little slipperier and drier. The next time around, they should get the competition caution about one left-hand turn left for this group of guys. And look at how third and fourth have closed in on second. Are we seeing problems out of Dinsmore?
Yeah.
Dinsmore's got problems or something. Look at Luke. Something's not right.
But Travis likes the outside line. He takes the outside line every single track we've been at, and it looks like Luke Johnson.
Whoa, look at this.
They're three wide across the stripe,
and Matag,
just like that, Matag has it.
Matag is now going to start the back half of this race in second. Luke was worried about Dinsmore. Matag did his own thing, and that was a perfect scenario. He passes two guys in less than a turn.
Yeah, the last time by before the competition yellow, Matag was in fourth, almost 3.5 seconds back from the top spot, and he crosses the line in second.
So Morris is out in front, has his fastest lap of the race on that last one. Actually, the top three, both Morris, Matag, and Johnson, all had their best lap on that 8th lap. So we'll rack them, restack them, and get ready for the second half of the race. They start nose to tail. They don't start side by side. The only way you'll see a restart side by side is if he didn't make it through that first turn.
You know, I got to call it Jesse Johnson. Nice run by him so far. This is first time back on the track since injuring his hand before the season started, and now he's got doctor's clearance. He's back here on his home track here at Charlotte. So right now running the top 6.
And he was battling a guy who was the series points leader coming, into Crandon. Kyle Hart, who sits back at 5th. So let's run down. Sean Morris, Doug Matag, Luke Johnson, Travis Dinsmore, Kyle Hart, Jesse Johnson, followed by 7th place Bobby Runyon, Cam Reimers in 8th, Jake Lunderby in 9th, Andrew Carlson in 10th, Chad Rayford in 11th, Hans Ada in 12th, and Colton Moore in 13th.
And I do think that Jesse Johnson's probably the quick mover of the race, because he started in the 12th spot.
We saw that yesterday.
Right now running in 6th.
That's exactly like yesterday.
Yeah, that's where he finishes in 6th yesterday, yeah.
So yep. you got to tell him, man, you got to work with the back half. The back half of this race, you got to pick it up a little bit.
So it looks like they're going to give them one more time around. Yeah, they'll be going one more time around and staying on the oval through turn 3 and 4 and taking the green flag next time by.
What happened there? Yeah,
Lunderby.
I was expecting them to maybe give it a little courtesy.
I had a great chance. I had a fun afternoon talking to Jake Lunderby and his dad, and they admitted the fact that they got a lot of help from the Greaves. That's a former CJ Greaves Pro Light.
Right.
But they're just a couple of guys from Montana that were once dairy farmers that had turned into a trucking company, and they started racing hobby stocks and worked their way through modifieds. And
he sits 8th in points now in Pro Lights.
As a rookie, yeah. And just a fun bunch of guys to hang out with, and some great stories of some of the crazy, stupid things they claimed that they did when they first started circle track racing that they just didn't know any better.
His best finish was a 6th at the first night of Chicago, so round number 5. So see if Lunderby can move his way back up through the pack. So we talked about it. They're not going to take this infield portion. They're just going to go around what would typically be the dirt track 3 and 4. Also, look for the acceleration cones. See those Sylvania light tubes sticking up out of the tires? Between that first one and second one, that's when they can get on the throttle. You cannot pass till you cross this flagging station.
And the thing is, they will not throw the green flag until the first truck accelerates. He can hold them all the way to the second light bar, and that's the green flag, and Sean Morris does just that.
Morris, Matag, Johnson, Dinsmore, your top 4. Look at Luke Johnson going to the far inside.
How's that for a chalk line?
Yep. He's looking for something down there, but look at Matag. Matag got a really good drive on Morris this time. Morris is going wide. Matag's going to the inside. Whoa! But he sees somebody else.
Chain reaction. Here we go.
Now Dinsmore is hooked up with him. Nobody's letting off. Kyle Hart's in there as well. I think Johnson just came in too hard that time, and it's really going to cost him not necessarily position, but track position.
And right now, Travis Dinsmore in that 4 spot, but he is getting a lot of heat. Now running in 5th, his best job so far this season. Actually, I should say his first job this season.
Look at Johnson.
3-1 to that final corner, up onto the oval. Johnson way up against the wall. Dinsmore in the middle.
And he's going to get it hard. Looks like he makes the pass as well on Dinsmore. So Johnson, we said he needed to get in it on the back half of this race. He went from 6th. Now he's up to 4th in that Poulan Pro.
I'm trying to remember if he's ever been on the podium. Boy, it's been 3 years. We got to check the archives. This could be his first shot at a podium for young Jesse Johnson.
Look at the race out front, though, as they make their way into the right-hand turn. He has a gaggle of trucks just behind him. First, second, third, about evenly spread out. This is the race back there. Bobby Runyon Jr. in 8th place with 6 laps remaining in this race.
He's battling Chad Rayford. Andrew Carlson goes around. And let's see, we got some more cars turned around in the infield, both back underway. Here's that battle for the top spot. Matag on the outside.
Second
spot, I'm sorry.
Second and third right there, Doug Matag and Luke Johnson seems to be the best race. First, second, third, evenly spaced right there. You see Sean really trying to set up on that outside, and it looks to be maybe, I don't think it worked for him that time. Attack's closed in. Look at how tight it is now between first and second. This is a guy who won last night in Pro Lights and Pro 2 Drive. That's the 81.
Ran away at both times. Ran away with it.
He's not running away tonight, is he?
No. Well, here's the thing. Keep in mind, you were talking about this last night. Would you want to be at the top spot right now, or would you rather be running in second with a couple laps remaining?
He catches the outer barrier there in the wall. Matag's going to make up even more ground. That last time around, less than a half a second between first and second. Morris is having to drive, he's got to drive with blinkers, and actually he has to. With the seat he has, he cannot look left and right. He can only look forward the way he's wedged into that seat.
He's got to run his own line. He can't worry about where Matag is fast until he's like, well, right now he's right there.
But he has to really depend on his spotter.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Right now it's a spotter's race.
If you're the spotter, what do you tell Doug Matag? If you're the spotter, what do you tell Sean Morris?
I'm saying keep it tight to the inside, especially on this corner right here. Don't even open the inside at all, and he leaves it wide open.
That's what he did last time, and he hit the wall. This time he's not, but he's going to get a good drive down the straight. But you cannot give Doug Matag that much room, and it looks like he may pay for it here. Kenda Tires on the outside. It looks like Cooper's on the inside.
I think Kenda's going to get the run. That's the spot, but he can't open that door.
But
we'll see what happens right here. He's got to get it tight.
He always goes wide again. Looks like they're both following the same lines. I told you Matag was set up more for the first of this race. This looks still like a typical first part of the race. The track holding a lot of moisture.
And Matag is aggressively going to that right-hand corner. But I'm telling you right now, Sean Morris has got to be in protection mode right now. Don't open the door even half a truck width.
Matag had the fastest lap of the race that last time around.
Brakes, no, Morris goes out to the wall again.
And I think Matag's got it. Matag's got it. He squared it up perfectly. He's going to take the line of Sean Morris, go where he wants to go this time, but he doesn't. He squares it up and still goes that inside line.
Oh, man, if I was pinching him down to the inside through that corner if I was able to, but he's getting a run down that backstretch, and now,
whoa!
And Matag is doing exactly what Morris should have been doing.
That's what happens when you have push, but he actually got pushed into that left-hand turn.
He couldn't help it, but in defense, Sean Morris is doing what he has to do, but Matag is doing what Sean Morris should have done when he had the lead.
That was an accidental brake check. I think he was wanting to slow it down, and Morris saying, there's no way you slow down this early into that turn. Taking the left-hander, coming down this front straightaway. There's where Matag was a little quicker. Maybe Morris paid attention that time. He went lower than he's went the entire race.
Yeah, well, I think that's
a little too late.
3 laps too late, yeah. So now Matag is going to run the line that he wants to run, which makes him crazy fast.
He said it was tough for him last night when he was out in front because their line was. Well, when you're able to work your way through the pack, you're able to try things, you can kind of figure the track out. When you're the race leader, it's hard to give up a good thing. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, Sean Morris had the lead. Keep it tight. Exactly what Matag did there, and that's what Morris wasn't doing. Continually, corner after corner, there was just enough room for Matag to kind of mess around with him. And you know something? There's a certain psychological effect, too. That lap after lap, corner after corner, the guy is right there. Eventually going to lose concentration as Luke Johnson slightly over-rotates, coming out of that final corner down the front stretch.
White flag is out. One more lap to go in the pro lights. Doug Matag trying to do it again. He said he set the truck up for the early part of that race, a little lower gearing. He knows he's going to need to take some of those low lines. This track didn't develop into a dry, slippery type of track. It looks like the start of this race right now.
Like the track hasn't
Like it
changed
should
at all.
be.
Yeah, one time, one final turn through the infield into that right-hander. Morris is not giving up. There's still about maybe 6, 7, maybe even 8 truck lengths between first and second, upwards of over almost 2 seconds. Into that final corner, up on turn 4 of the oval. Matag throws it sideways, pointed at the finish line, taking the second win of the weekend in Pro Light. Doug Matag.
Going back-to-back, his 5th victory in the season in convincing fashion, because remember, he started on the outside of row 3. The Johnland Racing team pretty much picking up right where they left off last night. Second place going to go to Sean Morris, his best finish of this season. Luke Johnson, he was up there for a while, drops back to 3rd. Jesse Johnson, welcome back to TORC.
No,
Colton
wow.
Moore. Colton Moore, not good. Not good.
You can't win, be spectacular.
No, you gotta get the tow truck to lift you up and lift him over there, and Colton Moore was in 11th, I believe. He's going to finish in last. So Doug Matag, Sean Morris, and Luke Johnson win, and we'll hear from him here in just a bit.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
Acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up. And nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N Performance air intake system. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed. Pushing you even closer to that blurry line between kick-ass and whiplash.
When I'm out there racing, God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust. There's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
So all you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
Everything I say is officially unofficial, but it looks pretty darn certain that Doug Matag is going to win the Pro Light division. Sean Morrison second and Luke Johnson in third. You know, if you want to win some great Arturo tire swag, post your best pick of tonight's action here at the Showdown in Charlotte on Twitter using the hashtags #TORC and #Arturo. That's ATTURO. It's really that simple. The winner will be picked by Miss TORC herself. We'll hear from her in just a moment. Enter early and often. So I said you had to have #TORC and #Arturo. You have to put it and attach it to a pick. But we had some problems with Colton Moore, the X Games star, and I think we can take a look back and see just what happened to the 31. Watch the video board. All right, so
Right down would be right down at the bottom of the screen.
right-hander.
Yep. Big
That's
push.
what happened to Bobby Runyon earlier. He's wanting to go right.
No, he was actually turned into it.
Eh.
He was actually turned slightly to the left coming into the corner.
I don't know. Re-rack and re-sack it. I want to see that again. It looked like he was just in some kind of push. He
see
could
the tie
not get
rod?
it to turn.
Could that have broken
Absolutely.
right before he got to
Maybe.
the wall?
Yeah, well, if his wheels are pointing left, you would think that that would be the case. That
If we could see that again, you could see where it was actually Now watch the left front.
On the yellow truck to the far right of this video picture.
Now see
You're
the left front?
tire?
Yeah. It broke. The tie rod broke going in before he hit,
It might have. Or he might have just went, oh, crap, I'm done.
Yeah, about 30 feet from before he hit the wall, both front tires are pointed north and south.
That's not a good thing. And, trying to wet his feet in off-road racing. He's done it on four wheels. He's done it on sleds.
Well, he's done a lot on sleds.
Yep, and four wheels, too. He's quite the quad guy. Might see him with Travis Pastrana and crew, I think, also on the Nitro Circus tour as well. So he's going to get a lift from the Motor Medic crew. Not how you wanted to end your night. And there's a little sticker in the back window there I saw. Is that the Chris Kyle Memorial sticker?
Yeah, that some of our teams are sporting the Chris Kyle Memorial benefit stickers that are available at the Race and Dirty trailer, $5 a piece. 100% of the proceeds go to the benefit. So we want to thank all the race teams as well as the fans are purchasing these stickers this weekend.
Yep, so you can get them from down there. We'll tell you more about that in just a bit. We're going to step aside for just a bit and get that Fox Sports interview. Kate Osborne's down there. It'll be sign up for a bit, and also Miss TORC will do the interviews for here, both on the web as well as the event. Need a water.
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no soul. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store at boostmobile.com for details.
Everyone has their daily routines. Some of us thrive on adventure, the thrill, even just a little family time. We live for the weekend. Whatever your passion, Kenda Tires is there for you. Kenda Tires, designed for your journey.
Getting out in racetrack or on the trail requires every performance edge you can get. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil is formulated to maximize horsepower. Its synthetic base oils reduce energy loss to friction, meaning your engine works less to deliver more power to the ground, helping you get out front and stay out front. AMSOIL synthetic dirt bike oil. Out front performance.
TORC, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by Gunk, makers of the toughest cleaners and degreasers on the planet. And by Maxxis Tires, we know dirt. And by VP Racing Fuels, our passion is your performance. And by K&N, celebrating the right foot since 1969. Well, as the drivers are down there on the victory podium, let's send it to Miss TORC herself, Tiffany Stone.
Thank you. What a wonderful Pro Lite race that was. Did you guys enjoy that out there? You guys don't sound like you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy that race out there? Well, let me introduce our third place podium finisher, Mr. Luke Johnson. Congratulations again. There was that great battle that happened right over here on lap 8. What was going through your mind with that?
There was a lot going on out there, and I made a rookie move and accidentally, coming through the rhythm section, bumped my ignition and shut it off when I had a good shot at the front. But these guys put on an awesome race. I tried chasing them down, but they were on it today, and I'm just happy to be up here on the podium. It's good for the championship run. Doug's definitely not making it easy on me, taking wins back-to-back, but I'm just stoked to be up here. The Cooper STT Pro is working awesome this weekend, and Multicam for coming out, Red Bull, everyone that's come on board to get us here. Just happy to keep this podium streak alive.
Well, congratulations on your third place podium win. Good luck to you in a few weeks. We're going to be in Sturgis in about 3 weeks, so good luck again.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now to bring our second place podium finisher, Mr. Sean Morris. Yeah! Congratulations to you, Sean. I have one question. Can you describe your win in 3 words?
Oh, it wasn't a win. It was second place. But my second place, 3 words is totally effing awesome. That's all I gotta say.
Well, to me, even if you're up here, that's still a win, and they think it's a win too, of course. So congratulations. What else is going through your mind? You know, you were in that battle. You were out there in first for a little bit. You got guys in the back. What was going through your mind?
We were just trying to run my lines, run the line, keep your consistent lines. You always know someone's back there. It's a tortoise in the hare, you know, whatever you want to chase me down. Dougie's chased me down 3 times now, 3 different races. I'm not gonna let this streak continue on, but it was just a great race. So I mean, it was so awesome. Thanking everybody. Thanks Ken the Tires for coming on this year. Pack Race Springs, Jeremy at Amsoil. Thank you so much for everything. Dynamic Motorsports, Tim at Motive Gear. These guys all came on board for me, and all my friends. They're all here from North Carolina. Guys that were in the Marine Corps with me. Corporal Creek right up there. Judd Stoll up there. We and Hovader, he's up in the tower up there. We haven't seen some of these guys in 20 years, and they're all here for me. I mean, it's so awesome.
So pretty much a big Semper Fi to them.
Semper Fi, guys.
Congratulations again to you again, Sean.
Thank you very much.
And of course, I know you guys heard me call him Lovely yesterday, but I totally think that is such a good name. I nicknamed him Lovely Dougly, and I think it's adorable. But congratulations on your win today. How is everything going for you? You know, it's back-to-back. How does that make you feel in Charlotte?
Oh, I feel awesome right now. To sweep the weekend in Pro Lite is awesome. I got my first win in Pro 2 yesterday, and this weekend has been awesome. I love this Charlotte track, and I love these Charlotte fans, so I'm stoked to be here and get first place every race I've raced so far. So I'm hoping to go and do it in the Pro 2 here in a little bit. But I mean, this truck was unstoppable this weekend. It was so fast, and it's due to my sponsors and the guys that work on it all. You know, like for so many, a long time. They work a lot on that thing, but. Luke and Sean, they drove an awesome race, and I just had to work my way, find my spots that I was faster than them, and capitalize on it. And you know, I got to thank my sponsors, Cooper Tires, with their brand new STT Pro has been unstoppable. Me and Luke have been really fast on them, and I'm stoked on that. And Amsoil, K&N, Supercross.com, COD, Excel Off-Road, Mom, Dad, thank you guys so much.
Congratulations on your win. Good luck in your Pro 2.
So Sean Morris, I didn't know that. Some of his military buddies here from the Marines.
To know. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. His 4th podium this year. Luke Johnson, party at the Choder home down there for the multicam, and that means drink, fellas, those of you at home. Party at the Choder home. And his 4th podium in a row, and the 8th podium in a row for Doug Matagi. It's 8 on the year, but 8 in a row. There's only been 9 races.
Yeah, we've often talked about the future of our sport and the young guns coming through. Well, I'm starting to think that the future's here. I mean, there is no future. It's going on right now.
It's a different wave, too. I asked Doug, I said, when did you first start racing? When did you start racing anything? He said at 14 he started racing UTVs. I'd never really heard anybody that is as good as he is that actually started in that discipline. Usually, you know, when in my age or younger, they would have started. No, I'm saying they would have started. They would have started quads or something
selfies down there.
Yeah, he's a selfie. But he's the more tech savvy. Luke Johnson is.
Luke Johnson's showing him how to do it right.
That's a cool podium, and all 3 of those guys have won before, and only one can win here. It seems like in Pro Lite this week in Charlotte, and that's. And he's about to do it again. He's standing on top of the podium in Pro Lights, but he's got to get back in the truck in the Pro 2 now and try and duplicate his feat from last night. That's going to be a tall order.
And the thing is, he's said in the past, I think he might be changing his mind a little bit, but he said in the past where he likes his Pro Light better than the Pro 2. And I think that how can you compare 500 horsepower to 900 horsepower as one being more fun than the other? Are you kidding me?
As a racer, though, you like that horsepower. You love that horsepower.
Yeah, speaking of horsepower, how about this? Tackle the toughest cleanups in your garage with the new Gunk all-purpose cleaner and degreaser. The heavy-duty concentrated formula breaks through and removes dirt, oil, and grease safely from almost any surface, including aluminum and plastic. Find Gunk all-purpose cleaner and degreaser at Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone. And VP Racing Fuels introduces Cetanium Cetane Improver
Easy for you to
diesel engines. And I'm not a trucker, so
I don't know my cetane for
I didn't know there was cetanium in anything. Well, I didn't know there was cetanium.
I didn't either.
Cetanium increases cetane up to 10 full numbers, the highest improvement on the market, and makes more horsepower. Titanium is for off-road use only. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com. And Maxxis tires are trusted by TORC champions because their products take drivers to the podium year after year. Be sure to visit the new Maxxis.com, MaxxisRacing.com, and stop by the Maxxis support trailer in the pit area to learn more about Maxxis tire products, including the ultra-high performance passenger, trailer, light truck, and SUV tire. And then also, we know that feeling, the urge, the sensation of wanting to pick up your phone and do something with it. Anywhere, anytime, like 3, 2, 1, now. Boost Mobile is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month when you sign up for Auto Reboost. Go ahead, stop fighting the urge, have your data. Visit your local Boost Mobile retailer for details.
Also, I want to, again, if you wanted some Turo tire swag, post your best pick of tonight's action here at the Showdown in Charlotte on Twitter using the hashtags, #TORC and #Atturo, A-T-T-U-R-O. And the winner will be picked by Miss TORC herself in her early and often, they say. So take a picture. We're looking for the best pick, #TORC, #Atturo. And it's that simple. And Miss Tiffany Stone, who's down
post them on Facebook, too, right away. Why
she
not?
picks it, so you can blame her. Right, Tiffany?
She's so not listening.
Yeah, she's not paying attention. So one race class is done. That's it for the Pro Lights tonight. We'll bump it up a notch when we come back. It'll be the Pro two-wheel drives here in Charlotte.
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no selfie control. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or boostmobile.com for details.
Everyone has their daily routines. Some of us thrive on adventure, the thrill, even just a little family time. We live for the weekend. Whatever your passion, Kenda Tires is there for you. Kenda Tires, designed for your journey.
Getting out in front on the racetrack or on the trail requires every performance edge you can get. AMSOIL Synthetic Dirt Bike Oil is formulated to maximize horsepower. Its synthetic base oils reduce energy loss to friction, meaning your engine works less to deliver more power to the ground, helping you get out front and stay out front. AMSOIL Synthetic Dirt Bike Oil. Out front performance.
TORC, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And by Boost, get unlimited talk, text, and data with Boost Mobile. And by Gunk, makers of the toughest cleaners and degreasers on the planet. And by Sylvania Silver Star ZXE, our whitest headlight for xenon-fueled style. So they did a little more watering of the track, a little regrading of the track. The fans are trying some of that ice cream that I tried. And
they're still taking care of the outside wall of that right-hand turn, yeah.
Yep.
How about this? Maxxis tires are trusted by TORC champions because their products take drivers to the podium year after year. Be sure to visit the new Maxxis.com, MaxxisRacing.com, and stop by the Maxxis support truck to learn more about Maxxis tire products. Ultra high-performance passenger, trailer, light truck, and SUV tires. And give it up once again for the official lighting sponsor of TORC, the ZXE headlights from Sylvania. Light is power. The Xenon-fueled and HID Attitude ZXE high-performance headlights from Sylvania. How about getting a pair? And then also win those rusty nuts, bolts, and locks won't budge. Grab a can of liquid wrench-penetrating oil. The fast-acting formula dissolves rust and cuts through grease to free your most stubborn problems, including Robbie Floyd sitting right next to me.
Right.
Plus, it's safe on all painted surfaces. Liquid wrench-penetrating oil for your toughest jobs, including Robbie Floyd. Make it move.
Beat me up. Why don't
Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with a K&N high-flow air filter designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow, because whether your green light flashes on the strip or on the street, everyone loves the fast car smell. Yeah?
Yeah. Get off me.
Getting a little rusty, are you? Wow, how about that? That is sweet. Check out the screen, the Jumbotron. That's going on right behind us.
Is that Key West? Where are we at on that picture? I mean, is that what?
We're Key Charlotte.
That's nice. That's pretty cool. Looking out, at least the sunset here. The lights are coming on the half-mile dirt track oval. But yeah, it's a really a really great setting. The track looks to be in perfect condition. I think the track may even look better than last night. I thought it was perfect last night. As we our second race of 3 tonight. Again, they qualified yesterday. They had a little practice today. This will be their first race of the day. I mean, going head-to-head against each other again, like the Pro Lights, we will have an inversion of the top 6 in points. With a couple of crashes this year, the gunk truck of Ari Leindyke Jr. going to lead the field out here. And is that Doug Matag? He can win a race, but he can't make his way onto the track right there? What happened?
He hit the outside, or the end of the outside retaining wall, trying to come out onto the track.
I hope that didn't hurt the wheel. There is Ari Leindyke Jr., gunk-powered. Look at that blue and orange. Had to do a lot of work on that truck between the last race. Look out for the X Games bronze medalists out of Scottsdale, Arizona on the Cooper Tire Ford.
Out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, driving the BF Goodrich Amsoil Spider Tracks. Number 44, it's Brad Lovell.
The guy who couldn't make his way onto the track. Hope he didn't mess up the toe in that truck. That would be from Temecula, California. Johnland Racing Team, Cooper Tires, Amsoil, Walker Evans Racing, Doug Matag in 81, looking to go back to back to back to back here in Charlotte.
And our next driver starting that 4th spot. If you took the entire field, added up their years of racing experience, I think this guy would still have more combined. In fact, as we're talking about that right now, Doug Matag is pulling into the hot pits. But this driver right here, number 15, out of Columbia, Louisiana, driving the Systems Control Amsoil Maxxis Tire Ford of Marty Hart.
Hey, but, you know, you also have Keegan Kincaid in there. He'll be the one to look for on the 7th. There he is in the 7th out of Wisconsin. Traxxas, Cooper Tires, Amsoil. You know, he's the son. His dad was pretty fast, Jeff, and I think Keegan might, you know, he might have a little something as far as when the history determines who's better. I think he's got something for him.
Our next driver comes out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I do believe that he is the winningest driver of all the pro classes combined in 2015. At such a young age, he is leading the points in 2 different pro classes, driving the Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota number 33, C.J. Greaves.
And he's new to short course off-road racing. He hails from over near Gadsden, Alabama, actually Rainbow City. He's sponsored by Rusty's Off-Road Products, Impact, and Mastercraft Safety. On the BF Goodrich Jeep, it's Tony Migas, the sprint car driver. Looking forward to seeing him more in 2015.
And starting that 8th spot out of right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, driving the Poulan Pro, Honda Cars, Rock Hill, the number 74 of Jarrett Johnson.
All right, we saw what Jesse can do. What can Jarrett do back there in the back? Matag is being held on this
Matag,
start.
yeah.
But here we go, the whole shot. They start side by side, but definitely aren't down like.
Four wide through turn one.
Keegan goes from fourth. Oh, he's going to stay in fourth. Now it opened the door actually for CJ. Look at that race back there in third, fourth, and fifth.
Ari Leindijk has the top spot for right now. He'll slide to the outside.
Brad Lovell, how nice was that inside turn?
Whoa.
Ari still holding up his head. Oh, and Kyle is off the track. He's got to get a turn somehow. He's found a totally different line there.
Oh, man, Marty Hart, he's waiting not a minute to get to the front. He's hard charging right now.
That's right.
And here comes Kincaid on the outside.
I had his son Kyle in my mind, but that's the old man out there. Sorry about that, Marty. Back there in third, Kincaid fourth. Make that CJ Greaves now moving up inside of Marty Hart.
That little black truck snuck up out of nowhere, now going after Marty Hart for the third spot.
Marty felt like he had something for him today. He was fast in practice, and he thinks his truck will be better set up for the race here tonight. Brad Lovell now trying to get in on Ari Leindijk Jr. Leindijk out in front of 43-43 that last time around.
Talking to Ari this afternoon, he had issues last night. It was with the steering, but they feel that when he had that big crash at Crandon, something still was twisting the chassis, so the pulleys didn't line up, and he kept taking off the power steering belt. So they think they found it. They did some adjusting, and right now it looks like they may have found it and corrected it.
Let's quickly go over to Kate, who has more on Doug Matag.
Well, Doug Matag unfortunately hit the entry wall as he was getting out on track there and broke the power steering. His spotter said he's going to be running a couple laps, hopefully to finish the race here. But right now, Doug Matag is in no position to get on the podium.
Thanks a lot. So unfortunately for him, you know, you don't want him to really cause a problem being a lap driver going down. We had that instance in this race last night where a guy was trying to get out of the way and couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, that was Miguez, in fact. But right now, it's like, now keep in mind, we talked about this last night. Oh, and it's
Brad Lovell, I think.
Brad Lovell going after Ari. He'll go down to the inside.
He's going to get it.
Oh, slight push.
Slight.
For Ari Leindijk trying to hang on to the outside. Ari may have not been able to correct the problem, and he's still looking awfully strong. And here comes Lovell running up front and over rotates.
And Ari just drives around him, and here comes CJ Greaves in third, closing in a little bit more. You know, Ari looks the best as far as, you know, he could have got stuck behind Brad Lovell, but he chose an optional line, and that really paid off for him that time. You're not going to do anything playing follow the leader.
Yeah, to kind of go back to Doug Matag's issue with power steering, not having that belt, he does have power steering when he's high up on that throttle with the RPMs. As the higher the RPM, the easier it is to turn. And when they're obviously he drops down into a corner to slow down, that's when it's crazy tough to turn. And he's just got ducked into the hot pits one more time.
But as a racer, though, if you can't, you don't want to go into an area fast if you know you can't steer.
Yeah,
so it's really hard to tell your brain to do that.
So you're going to see
Look at that.
Probably, oh man, a big push going into the corner. CJ goes inside Lovell. Lovell comes right back.
Lovell tried paying attention a little bit more in that one, and it still is going to cost him, but he is set up a little better on the inside this time. CJ's trying to drive around him. Does he get the grip?
Up over that tabletop.
CJ's in a good position.
Man, yep. I think Brad Lovell faltered just a little bit in the zigzag. He's going to try and dunk on the inside. And I see a little puff of smoke from the front end of Lovell going into the corner.
He's keeping his foot in it there. Again, Brad Lovell and Amsoil Spider Tracks BF Goodrich Ford out of Colorado Springs, Colorado in third. Ari Leindijk Jr., he's won an Indy Lights race, but he has never won TORC the Off-Road Championship. Right now he's out in front. Remember, at the halfway point, which now is an 18-lap race, so after 9 laps, we re-rack him and restack him, but he's doing everything he can right now, being out in front.
Well, I'm going to throw something out there as well. Brad Lovell's got a brand new Pro 2. This is his first year in Pro 2. He's champion in Pro Light. Right now, and he's having some learning curves. He's having some bug issues with a brand new vehicle. But right now, this weekend, he's pitted across the pit area right from CJ Greaves. Do you think he may be learning a few things, kind of taking some peeks across here? Because he's having a very, very strong run tonight.
It may be the case. You know, Brad's not had the year he wanted to have. He had one second-place finish at Chicago night number 2, but other than that, just really not the performance that I think he expects out of himself, even in his rookie year.
Oh, yeah, here we go. CJ Greaves just being very, very patient. Something that I kind of got on him about earlier today. He wasn't patient. He saw it a different way, what took place last night when he rolled over for the first time in his career. But right now,
on that jump.
Yeah, on that jump right there. But right now, I see the CJ Greaves we've been seeing all year long being very, very patient.
Ooh, big dive on the inside that time. Ari's going to get some pretty good drive on that outside line. Yeah, CJ's showing the patience here, but right now, I thought that's the case. He got up in the business of Ari Lindike Jr., and you got to say,
watch for that tire.
Yeah.
Watch that right front tire.
Spinning tire getting into the back of a truck like that could tweak the dynamic of that truck, but he's in a great position. He gives Ari a lot of room, though, a lot of courtesy there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not about just banging into the guy next to you. You got to have a little give and take, except, I'd say, with the white flag out, then it's all gloves off.
1 point. Third place level, Keegan Kincaid in fourth. Fifth is Marty Hart. Hart had the fastest lap of the race of 42.43 that last lap. Don't count out anybody in this top 5.
Wow, where did Keegan Kincaid come from? He's been kind of quiet up until that first lap or so. Fell back, now he's back to the front. Here comes Marty Hart now.
There's the race up front. Ari Lindike Jr., a good drive by CJ underneath. But Ari's running an exceptional race and making his own lines. I don't see many defensive lines. He's running some fast ones.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of spotter help right now. But again, I'm going to go back. CJ's this shark right now. He is watching every line that Ari's taking, exactly like he does with his dad in Pro 4. He watched his dad. He knows where his dad's going to go eventually and takes a spot where his dad is.
Ari's going to get landed on if he keeps doing that, though. He was on the inside, set up to the outside, which is a preferred line. But when you cross pass, at the finish, it's going to be CJ at the, I say finish, the finish of the first half of this race. CJ Greaves. A 42.68 on that last lap.
The gap between first and second across the line, 0.08 of a second.
So you were wondering where Keegan Kincaid came from. You said he came out of nowhere. Well, here, this.
How about this?
What?
Ari Lindike is not happy at all with CJ Greaves having a little, I'd say a little hand action going on inside the cockpit right there.
I didn't see CJ do anything there. I thought.
No, who knows what he's upset about, but definitely Ari Lindike pulled up alongside
you know what? He
CJ.
got into the back of him that one time. He got into the back of him on the front straightaway.
That may have been it, but the fact is, Ari's not happy, and I love seeing that kind of action, that intensity and emotion during the competition yellow.
All right, let's take a look at what happened to Keegan Kincaid, who Keegan will start in fourth here. There he is, the number 7. So this is why he dropped back. Oh, and Marty got into him. He stabbed it. He didn't keep him coming around, though, so he let go of him.
He checked up,
But that definitely cost him, and that's why he had to work back up through the pack. So, okay. Ari Lindike Jr. is not happy. And on that straightaway right there, Ari went, you look at that screen, from right to left. That's because he didn't want to get choked into this last turn. But when you do that, you've got a good shot of somebody jumping up in the back, the back end of it.
Here's a replay of the start of the competition yellow. We're going to see what Ari was doing with CJ having a little bit of hand gestures. I'm not sure if we'll see the hand gestures themselves, but we'll definitely see.
All right, let's take a look at it. They've got one more lap to come around for the back half of this Pro 2-wheel drive race. All right, you saying you saw something in the cockpit there for Ari Jr.?
No, that's not it. That's live.
Welcome back on the Ocho. All right, CJ Greaves, Ari Lindike Jr., Brad Lovell, Keegan Kincaid, Marty Hart in 5th, Jarrett Johnson in 6th, Tony Migas in 7th. Doug Matag out of this race in 8th. His race was finished before it even started, and he's going to get – Tyrone is not going to let him live that one down. Everybody in the pits is going to say, dude, you can't pull onto the track, but I'm going to lay off on that. But that is a sad instance for him.
I'm looking at right now Keegan Kincaid, Marty Hart. Those two right there specifically are going to try and pass as many trucks they can in that first lap right from the drop of the green flag. They don't want to waste any time. I don't care if it's Ari Lindike, CJ Greaves, Brad Lovell. Those two guys in 4th and 5th are going to go for it right away.
And there's only 3 guys in front of Keegan Kincaid right now. Brad Lovell having one of his better races in 3rd, Lindike in 2nd. Where does CJ get on the gas? Right there. There's the answer.
Nice jump by CJ. And here comes Ari down to the inside. Here comes Keegan with him.
Everybody followed. Marty's going to take that high line. So let's see the 5th car in the picture, the 5th truck. See if he can make up some ground. Jarrett Johnson back there in 6th. Oh, Ari backing it in. Almost gets tapped by Lovell.
Look how tight Keegan took it to the inside.
Whoa, it already comes around. Did he do it himself, or did he get some help?
Was able to catch that. I was watching Keegan cut to the inside.
And again, when you're sideways, it only takes just a tad, and he's driving
and
angry.
Look who's up in the fourth. Jared Johnson with his best run.
So Jared Johnson in the Poulan Pro in fourth now.
Wow, CJ Greaves almost landed on top of the wall off the front stretch tabletop. Still maintains the lead, but he's scraping, trying to find that wall, trying to find the traction. Here he comes onto the backstretch. That tight left hand, and Brad Lovell just throws it sideways.
I see Jared Johnson also squaring up a little different. Let's take a look at replay at what happened to Ari. Did he get touched? I think Marty gets into him right there, and that brought him around, no doubt about it. And that was the best I had seen Ari in his truck. The best I'd seen his truck work. You know, I mean, he looked like he was perfectly set up for this race. It was a head-to-head with him and CJ.
Well, we're going to find out exactly how quick Ari is, since he's got nothing but clean track in front of him for a while until he catches the pack, as he's right now running that 7th spot. I believe he's in 6th. Has he gotten around Tony Migas? I'm not sure. But as we go back up front, CJ Greaves at the point. Quick lap of 42.68, but the fast lap of the race goes to Marty Hart with a 42.43. So,
and that's making contact even. Best lap is actually most of these guys around lap 7. So the track not getting faster, getting slower. In fact, and Marty's now charging hard in 3rd. It looks like he could close in on Lovell this time. What's the differential? Looks like about 1.5 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. About that same difference. Oh, we got a fire. I smell smoke.
Oh, no.
Shut it down. Motor medic crew, get out there with the fire extinguishers.
And look at those guys. They're right there on the spot.
Will this cause caution or no?
There's Tom and Whitey out there right away, going right for the fire. They know Keegan. There's Tom. Keegan's out of the truck. He's okay. Doesn't look like there's going to be yellow coming out.
Think about it. That's the 2nd time we've seen that truck on fire in 2 weekends of racing.
Yep. There's CJ once again crossing the start-finish line, completing another lap. But
all right,
here's another look at that fire with Keegan Kincaid. That's a live shot right there. He is not happy. Here we go.
So it looks all's well. Oh, something just let go. Some type of oil fire probably. When you see a little smoke like that and all of a sudden you get a big flash.
I'm going to say that's got to be transmission. Something like a line maybe blew off. I think that's a transmission.
I don't know, man. He's sending smoke signals.
Yeah, that's transmission right there. No doubt about it.
Oof, man, that's one of those, when you're seeing it out the window netting, I mean, you're like, let's get the heck out of here. You saw him crawl out of that. 3 laps to go in this Pro 2-wheel drive. CJ Greaves leads Marty Hart with only a couple of laps remaining by about 1.5 seconds. Lovell's now dropped back to 3rd. So Marty Hart in that last lap made the pass into 2nd. Does he have enough for CJ? This is 14 laps complete. This is an 18-lap race, 2 more than we saw in the Pro Lights.
Now this is actually the truck that Marty Hart's in. That is a Chad Horde. It's Chad Horde.
That's right. Sorry, my mind was going.
So that's a championship truck. It's won a few races. It's won a cup race at Crandon. So it's a proven truck.
And word has it can drive itself home to Bark River. It actually does.
It knows its way, yeah.
Look at Lovell. He looks good. I mean, I bet you when we talk to him after the race, I bet you he's got a ton of confidence because he's been up front pretty much all night, and it looks like that truck was going where he wanted.
And you know what? He's going to take this. If he can land on the podium, he'll take this as a win for right now. A brand new truck. He's that kind of guy, looking for anything positive. He's got a great crew behind him, and there's a shot of Jared Johnson right now running that 4th spot.
And part-timer.
Cool
we need him in the series.
He's not even a part-timer. This is his first race of the year.
His solo timer here for the Poulan Pro. Right now it's just Pool P. He is Cool P right now. Jared Johnson in 4th place. If he could get a top 5, his brother was up there as well. He was in 4th, right? Jesse finished 4th as well. So both of these guys are just on it in a limited program, but good to have them back at TORC Off-Road Championship.
He's a multi-time champion, tons and tons of race wins in late model here on the East Coast, up and down the coast, and took a stab at off-road about 3 years ago, jumped into the sport, and right now just working so hard to come up with some more money to run the full series that he once was just a few years ago.
Already
the last 2 years.
Already lined up in the Gunk Mobile back in 5th after that big spin. Marty Hart, the last lap around was 2.340 seconds arrears of CJ Greaves. This is lap 16, lap
it's
17.
not going to be 2 seconds, I can guarantee you that now.
White flags coming up. Marty takes that drastic inside line. Let's find out what the differential is. Last lap, white flag is out, 2.68. I think he went inside to try and find something, and he found out, no, that's not the best line.
Yeah, he only knocked off 2/10, so he's running out of time without a doubt. And CJ's just too fast.
He was fast last night, and those two got together.
Yeah.
And I was talking with Johnny, and I said, after you watch it, I thought Marty did everything
Remember St.
right.
Louis? Remember St. Louis between these two? There was no love lost. I can tell you that right now. And Marty Hart's not happy about finishing second, but especially not happy
Losing
finishing
points
second to CJ.
And he's losing points, too. Pro two-wheel drive, he was 10 points, or Keegan was 10 points behind. Marty was 30, but at 32 now, CJ Greaves takes another win in Pro two-wheel drive. That's his 5th race win of the season. That monster Maxxis Toyota, it was strong last night. It finished the race strong tonight.
Well, that's another one of the kids that he'll go through the whole process of celebrating with his sparkling apple cider.
Yep. Hey,
He's
Marty.
that young. And then, you know what? He's going to be jumping into a Pro 4 and doing it all over again.
Yeah, Marty has to be pleased with his run. He finishes second, but he was in it till the end. Brad Lovell finishes third. We'll talk to the top 3 when we return to TORC, the Off-Road Championship presented by AMSOIL.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking
my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with the K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell. Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. Off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with the K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell.
TORC, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by Liquid Wrench Penetrating Oil. Dissolves rust and unsticks the toughest nuts and bolts. And by IDE Industries, professional race canopies and hospitality tents. And by Cooper Tire. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. And by Motor Medic. Maximize your vehicle's performance and long live your ride. There you see the course workers trying to do some few tweaks. You know that one right-hand turn last year, we had wagon ruts in it. It caused havoc for several guys getting up on bicycles. This year we have not seen it. I don't know what the difference is because it's hotter than it was last year. I think the track crew has started to figure out this track, out a little bit better. I mean, they've been keeping it on par, on point the entire weekend.
Yeah, we talked about this going back to Crandon when we had the weather conditions, and I said this last night that the track crew was were the heroes of the weekend, and in the polar opposite side of things, with the heat and the wind that we've had here the last couple of days, that again, the track crew are the heroes of the weekend. This is the best racing conditions we have had all season long, and to see Jeff Nordstrom come into the hotel last night at 2 o'clock in the morning with a smile on his face.
You don't see that
tired.
Often. You don't see that often.
Beat up, but smiling. That was something to see.
What were you doing up at 2 a.m.? That's the big question. We're going to step aside here in just a bit. Our Fox crew's down there getting ready to get the shots for the television show. Those of you here watching, you're wondering, why is it so quiet? They want it quiet for the TV show, and we'll be back here in just a bit at TORC, the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Check your tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with a K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell. Horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with a K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell.
The Pro 2-wheel drive race is finished, but we still have to hand out the hardware. Let's send it back down to Tiffany Stone. Miss TORC.
Hello, thank you guys so much. What a wonderful race that was too. I want to bring out our third place podium finish winner, Brad Lovell. Are you guys going to come out too? Your sons were so happy. They were so excited. This one, Adam, he was jumping up and down. How does this feel? This is your second podium finish of the season. You seem to get it going. What are you doing right there with your truck?
Well, you know, we're working as hard as we can out on the track. The whole team was thrashing this weekend, getting everything right. We had some cracked parts. So everybody's working through the night. It's great to be down here. Really special for me to have my kids here. And BF Goodrich is only a couple hours from here. So all those guys came out. They got me a special set of tires, Stagger Special, that hooked up great out there on that red clay. So I can't thank them enough, and representing AMSOIL down here. Such a great product with quality and everything. So this fuel in the tank, it feels great to be on the podium.
Well, congratulations again, and I know these two little boys are so proud of you. They were the first ones down here jumping up and down, and as soon as your truck came in, they were running down there. So congratulations on your podium finish.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now for our second podium finish, Mr. Marty Hart. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Congratulations on this back-to-back here in Charlotte for you. What did you do? I know it's a little cooler today. Does that have any effect on your truck?
Well, it did. The track never came in like it did last night. It stayed slippery, and everybody was kind of on marbles out there, and we were battling a lot of contact tonight. But obviously not a lot of it was intentional. There's a lot of guys that are over-rotating. It was just a busy race for me out there, and I dropped back to 5th at one time and kind of worked my way back up through the pack. But, you know, we had a fast lap, they said. But, you know, I searched all over the track trying to find some lines, and I found some good stuff. I just kind of run out of time to go get CJ. But I had fun. Thanks to all the guys that came out tonight. We really enjoyed putting on a show. And first part of the race, it was really, I was like right together. But thanks to AMSOIL, Walker Evans Wheels, Maxxis Tires, Systems Control, Rigid Industries, all the guys, my guys have worked super hard the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, to get these cars back 3 weekends like we have in the last 4. So hats off to those guys, and enjoyed it.
Well, congratulations again. Good luck in Sturgis in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And our first place podium finish winner, Mr. CJ Greaves. Congratulations for this back-to-back again in Charlotte as well. And I know right after that caution flag there was some things going on back there. What were you seeing when you had that little backup back there?
I don't know. Me and Ari went across the line side by side. I think I had a little bit up more than a nose on him, and he thought he had it. I thought I had it, and I didn't even. Someone said he was pointing at me or giving me hand signals. I didn't see any of that. We were just out there to race and win, and we had a little bit of. We got the bad end of a stick yesterday, but it was a racing deal. It all came together really quick, and it was just a split moment. So racing happens like that. So I have to give this race to Cody, Kyle, Devin, Brad, Boots. They stayed up till 6 a.m. getting this truck back together. So hats off to them. Charlotte, all you guys for coming out here. Thank you. Monster, Toyota, TRD, Method Race Wheels, Maxxis Tires, Fox Shocks, AMSOIL, Forest County Potawatomi. Everyone that helps us out, big thanks.
Well, congratulations again, and I know you guys have a few weeks off, so hopefully we'll be able to get this again in Sturgis for you.
I want to remind everyone, we also have what do we call it, a track walk. We also have autograph signing in the pits after the race. So even though our next race will be our final race of the night after the podium, you can actually walk to your right and enter the pits around turns 1 and 2 of the dirt oval here. You can walk to your right and walk around there, and all the drivers will be signing autographs at the USAC hauler, I believe. Or right out there in the pits. Right. It's really accessible.
It's right around where the white Wayland billboard is, just coming out of turn 2. That's where the USAC trailer is, and that's where we'll be signing autographs. But then if you want to do the track walk, you'll have to keep on walking all around to
see that hole in the fence.
Yeah, the hole in the fence over there. You're just going into turn 3, and that's where you can come out. So we invite everybody to stick around. Make this an event of something you're going to remember. Just don't go to a race. Watch the race, and then go home. Stick around, have some fun. There's a lot going on. And, again, we still have one race to go.
All right, we're going to take a break here in just a second. You see the tutorial on how to squirt sparkling apple cider for CJ Greaves. We'll be back here at TORC in just a bit.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight. The tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. The Amsoil product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
Professional driver tearing up the hot mud of the track, or a daily driver hitting the cool city streets at night, we built the tire for both of you. At Atturo Tires, we believe great tires do not have to cost a great deal of money. A proven winner, a tire able to handle anything you throw at it on the street or trail. An Atturo tire, performance within reach.
VP Racing Fuels introduces Cetanium Octane Improver. Cetanium Octanium increases octane.
Hey, you said it, not me. If you're having problems with your Cetanium or Octanium, you need to go to VP Fuels. That's what you're saying.
Because it increases 8 fuel numbers, whatever that means. Yeah. Another one. The highest improvement on the market and makes more horsepower. Octanium is for off-road use only.
Only off-road.
Only. So that must mean
can't put it in your car.
No?
Right.
And is available at AutoZone. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com. And acceleration is a beautiful thing. Pedal down, pulse up. And nothing feeds your engine what it craves like a K&N performance intake. For more airflow in and more horsepower out, guaranteed. Push you even closer to that blurry line between Wicked Fast and Robbie. Wicked Fast and Robbie.
Yeah, whatever.
And Kenda Tires. For over 50 years, Kenda Tires produced high-quality, affordable products for the automotive and specialty markets. Kenda is the tire of choice for the number 27 Pro Lite of Sean Morris, who just a moment ago was on the podium.
Second place.
Visit their product display here at the track and find out why. Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And check out those great-looking uniforms the TORC safety officials are wearing. Need something like that for your personal safety or crew? Call the good friends at Impact Racing to order your custom-designed driver or crew suit today. Or visit them at impactraceproducts.com.
So does that mean they go through your buddy at Roush? Because it seemed like Impact, they're like the local, the local know-how or whatever.
Yeah, stop at GA's Performance Parts and ask for Mike Alvarez, and he'll set you up without a doubt. Here comes our TORC Pro 2 two-seater.
I've got an Impact cart suit. I've got an Impact driver suit. I don't drive.
I've got an Impact wrench.
I just like wearing it on Halloween.
I got an Impact wrench.
Do you?
Well, not Impact, but Impact.
That wasn't even funny.
I try. Give me one. Just give me once.
Oh. What's Flat Ari doing?
He's just hanging out.
Oh, if you haven't done that, they got a
He's
promotion.
probably pretty hot down in the pits right about now.
You can follow at Team Cooper Tire on Twitter or Instagram and use a hashtag Team Cooper Tire, STT Pro with a photo of Flat Ari, and get your chance to win a set of STT Pro tires and a Traxxas RC truck. Oh, I didn't know you got a truck too. Show us your favorite place to go off road. That's pretty cool. But the Flat Ari, you and I, we both have our Flat Aris. Ari was riding a rooster during the drivers' meeting. I think that rooster lives over at the Choder home, and Luke Johnson. So we
trained it. He's the one that trained it.
Yeah, ride that rooster, Ari. Ari's Flat Ari has a smile. Real Ari does not have a smile on his face.
At this moment, probably.
He's angry, Ari. But talk about this. You were talking about this earlier. And what's the relationship with Chris Kahn Memorial and TORC, the Off-Road Championship? Well, before we get to that, I believe that Kate is going to talk to Keegan Kincaid, and we can find out a little bit more in that. Kate Osborne, where are you at? Who do you have?
All right, we got Keegan Kincaid up here. And now, Keegan, this is the second event that your truck has caught on fire. What's going on with the truck?
You know, it's never fun catching on fire, but you know, I got to thank God for keeping me safe. We had a little bit of a trans and underdrive problem, and unfortunately caught on fire. But you know, I'm safe, and we'll bounce back, and hopefully be on top of the box at Sturgis. So we got our work cut out for us. We got a little bit of time here to prep the truck, and hopefully make some good changes and put this thing back on top of the box.
All right, well, we're really happy to see you safe and sound up here with the spotters. Keegan Kincaid.
Well, there's CJ. It looks like he's tightening the chain on the KLX one.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. He's fixing it.
Now you're Hollywood.
Yeah.
Holy.
He was down there. I was like, man, check him out. He's taking the time. Yeah, I think I've got a few spokes loose.
He's actually putting on his Velcro laced fire shoes. Oh, did I see the fact that he needed a milk crate to get inside the race truck?
Hey, you better be quiet, old man. He's still got you a few years. We're going to step aside for a bit. We come back. It's the Pro Four-Wheel Drives, the bad boys at TORC, the Off-Road Championship.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have AMSO on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an AMSOIL driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
When I'm out there racing, God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust, there's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
So all you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
This is it, the fans, the race, the race you've been waiting for, the Pro Four-Wheel Drives. Similar motors that you see in the Pro Two-Wheel Drives, but you got to have four wheels clawing for traction the entire time. And remind everybody, whether it be Pro 4, Pro 2, or Pro Lights, these drivers will be signing autographs after the award ceremony. You can go check out the pits. You can pick up some of those broken fiberglass parts, get them signed,
Autograph
check
material.
out our vendors, meet Scott Rain himself. He uses liquid wrench for deodorant. This man is unbelievable and works for all his rusty nuts. Look at the Pro 4. deodorant and degreaser, and all that stuff. The Pro 4 comes up next, and a lot of times with Pro 4-wheel drive is keeping the truck alive, keeping everything. We saw problems with Chad Horde last night. He only had 2-wheel drive. We saw problems with Mike Jenkins last night. We saw problems with a few drivers. Adrian Cheney also. It's tough on the equipment.
You know, the thing is, first off, Mike Jenkins playing on the track right now. He had transmission issues last night. Just flat out came to a stop. You see Chad Horde out there. He's taken care of. The thing is also talking to Adrian Cheney, his guys. Whatever the problem was last night, they didn't really know.
They didn't know what it was yesterday, and
couldn't get it fired up this afternoon. They couldn't find the problem. There was a wiring issue. That was earlier this afternoon. They still couldn't get it done.
And then that's not Adrian's typical truck as well.
No,
so.
that's a brand new Mark Kwame truck. But there we are. The man starting on the pole right now. Out of McKinney, Texas, the number 47, the president and owner of Traxxas, running on Cooper tires. That is Mike Jenkins.
Next to him, Chad Horde out of Felch, Michigan on the Cat Amsoil Rigid Industries Maxxis Tire Ford. He had a smile on his face. I'm expecting big things out of Chad. He's fine. He's going to get it together before Bark River.
Yeah, he's struggling right now. I mean, it's been an uphill climb, no other way. But he's chipping away a little quicker, finding those problems. And the thing is, he was probably the fastest as he was right out of the box back in January at the Red Bull Frozen Rush. Our next driver to talk about, he comes from El Cajon, California. Multiple times on the box, only on the top spot once. He's due for the top spot right now. He's driving Ford, Amsoil, Borla exhaust, Walker Evans wheels, number 7 of Scott Douglas.
The 3-time Pro 4-wheel drive champion, driving for Monster, Maxxis, Toyota out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Deuce of Johnny Greaves.
And the back row, he just won Pro 2, now in Pro 4. The young man leading in points in both Pro divisions, driving the Maxxis Monster Energy, number 33, CJ Greaves.
What a jump for Mike Jenkins on that inside. Whoa, shrapnel going everywhere. I hope that was fiberglass, but something just let go down this front straight.
Boy, everything's going on.
Look at this.
3 wide, look out. Douglas forcing the issue.
Jenkins couldn't shut him down quick enough. He had half a truck.
I just see 5 wide through the corner. Right now, Jenkins has the advantage. 3 wide with Ford, Douglas, and Greaves going into turn number 3.
And Chad Horde in a good position. Look at this, almost three guys on the face of that one double jump. Chad Horde, I told you he had a smile on his face earlier when we talked to him, and that's what happens when you get held to the outside.
Scott Douglas had a push, who had to go straight, forced Chad Horde to the outside, who was set for the corner. Meanwhile, going to the inside, Johnny Greaves moves into second.
That opens the door for CJ Greaves. CJ now into 4th spot in the orange truck.
Look
Make
at
that
the
3rd.
run of Chad Horde on the outside.
Not near as good as the run on the inside as CJ now moving into 3rd.
Checking up, trying to rotate the truck. That gives Chad Horde the chance. Again, 3 wide through turn number 3.
Chad looks gamey today.
Oh, if he could just keep that thing together and not make any kind of contact, which will really... Oh, how about this? Look at the roof line of Scott Douglas with the Sylvania lights outlining the number 7. How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And there's that left-hand turn. He had problems with the lap before. No problem this time. Mike Jenkins out in front, 1.2 second differential, about 3 seconds behind the leader. CJ Greaves in 3rd, Douglas in 4th, Chad Horde in 5th. And again, this is an 18-lap race, 16-lap race, excuse me, so we will at the halfway point. Oh, left front's gone.
Oh, no, left front of Chad Horde is going away. The sidewalls are already starting to go on Chad Horde, the number 9.
Now, can he keep it going for 8 laps to try and hit that competition caution?
Front, oh, that is the tire that you probably is the best one to go on this, but you can see that puff, a little puff of white smoke. He knows it's going down now, so now he's in that preservation mode. Stay on the lead lap. Stay on that lead lap, but try to keep that tire together.
And keep it light, too, as he comes through there. The place that's really going to hurt him is the right-hand turn. And now Johnny Greaves starting to put some hurt on Mike Jenkins. Johnny on that inside. Mike's got to shut down that inside, especially on the Pro 4.
That was a spotter's call right there. When you saw Jenkins cut to the inside, oh, man, he slides the outside. Greaves goes inside, but right on that backstretch, when you saw Jenkins kind of cut down, that was the spotter's call right there.
But once you shut it down and you can't get it to turn, that's what happened. He got into a bad push and just couldn't do nothing with it. Hey, wasn't it these 2 guys that got together on that jump last year?
Yep. Without a doubt. No, actually, it was Mark Jenkins.
It was Mark, his brother. Mark. Where's Mark? Mark, we miss you. He's in Colorado right now. We talked to him.
He's having a good old time, but right now I think there's a little twinkle in his eye wishing that he was here. But he's, you know what? You are definitely missed. You're talking. Mark, get your butt out to the track soon, please.
All right, so Mike's not giving up here. I think he's trying to find just an alternate line. It's okay that he's in second. He's trying to find something for the second half of this race.
And yeah, we got to keep an eye on Chad Hoare to make sure that tire keeps together so he can make it into the hot pits. Oh, Jenkins slightly over-rotates, scrubs off a little bit, loses a little ground to Johnny, but not a lot.
And I wonder what happened with Hoard's tire. I mean, there was a lot of contact in this first lap or two. When did it happen? CJ Greaves still back there in third, really not making much ground up on these front two.
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking, too, that they might be flexible, kind of just playing that waiting game. Now, the guys, they've kind of like, okay, they flex their muscle, kind of punch each other a little bit, round one or round two. Now let's wait for the ding-ding of the bell, take a break, and then come back for the second half. I pretty much guarantee what's going on right now.
Mike Jenkins doesn't want to get too complacent. He's okay with second. He does not want to be in third when we restart for the back half of this race. So he has a good gap between himself and third place right now, but you don't want to be thinking about guarding. You know, you don't want to just be, okay, I'm fine where I'm at. I've still got to push to hold second.
Well, and the thing we got to mention, too, both the Toyotas, Johnny's and CJ's, they have those high-revving TRD motors, and they flame up a lot more than the rest of the field, especially when they come into the corners. They lift off that throttle. All that unspent fuel hits the exhaust. And, again, how cool is that with that light bar, the lights from Sylvania outlining that number 7 on the roof line of Scott Douglas.
Great idea. And Hoard's still making it around the track. He only has 2 more laps to go.
That tire's hanging together. You still see that puff, a little puff, 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 puff of white smoke out of the sidewalls. He'll be fine if that sidewall stays together.
And that's the Maxxis tire. There's the one where it puts a hurt on
corner.
him. I don't think I'd be trying to pass, though, because you know he's going to have to pull into the hot pit here in another lap. You know what? The race right there is for
Scott
5th and 6th.
Douglas has a right front going down.
Oh, maybe that's why they're so close to each other.
Look at the right front of Douglas. That is the worst tire to be going down on all 4.
There you go. The race for second is heating up, too. Look at CJ Greaves. He only has a couple more turns. They're going to get those cross flags signifying halfway through. And the caution, CJ wants it. He's only got one more turn to get it done here.
Mike's he's in a protective mode right there. Stays a nice and tight on the outside, but it's a drag race, and it looks like Jenkins will hang on.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, that Goodwin power plant of Jenkins, just a nice drag out of the corner. And here it is for position between Douglas and Hoard, and Douglas will hang on. Now we're going to watch.
So as Mike is in second behind Johnny, CJ behind him, we're going to have a couple guys heading into that hot pit, 2 with flat tires. And they actually charge to this the 3 guys in front of them, because now they'll exit the track. How quick can their crew get them done? You know,
Chad Hoard's staying out.
What?
Chad Hoard is staying out. Douglas ducks into the pits. Chad Hoard stays out.
Does he think it's going to last for the last half of those?
I don't know what.
What's he thinking? Maybe they don't. Maybe they aren't prepared. There's something there that I think we don't know about. Don't you have that feeling? I mean,
obviously,
it is the right front. Scott Douglas in a hot pit. He wants 4 good tires. Right now, maybe he thinks that right front isn't as important because there is only one right-hand turn. Or left front, excuse me.
I think Chad may have been, maybe Chad didn't know. Maybe he didn't realize because it's on the left front and he only has one right-hand turn. There's Scott Douglas in the hot pits right now. They're changing the left front.
And Chad's right front, which the turn that he's going through right now, the only right-hand turn. And he looked pretty fast, but, you know, it makes sense that he was able to keep up with Douglas if Douglas also had a flat, you know. I mean, look at the last lap, 41. Well, that was the best lap. Last lap of 42.9. So he's about a second and a half slower than Johnny Greaves is. You can't win races a second and a half slower with 8 laps left.
Well,
unless everybody just takes themselves out.
Yeah, and Chad Hoard was, 0.6 of a second faster than Scott Douglas on his flat tires. So I'm thinking that Chad Hoard just didn't know he had a flat.
Hoard's a full second slower than Johnny was. on his last lap. Now, we talk about this. We haven't talked about this, and Kate probably did for the TV show, and you talk about Toyota power plants for Johnny and CJ. I was not aware that CJ is actually running the big motor, a higher displacement truck compared to Johnny. Johnny needs all those revs, like a 358 or something. You know, it's a small engine, but in the left-hand turn that they're going to be coming to in just a bit, the sharp left after you come after, you know, the oval, he said he's right in the middle of a shift. You know, where he wants to be is right between gears. So it either revs out and he doesn't get the drive, or he shifts and he gets a little bog having that small motor. So he's in a precarious situation, but right now he's out in front. Can he put himself in that spot that he needs to be to keep the revs up but not get past?
Well, the thing is that means he has to go to the outside of the track, has to run that outside line to keep those revs up, or to get it into gear to get a bite out of the corners on the outside. I'm still very curious about the Chad Horde situation, why he didn't come in. Well, here we go. Green flag this time by Johnny Greaves. Hits that first green pole, holds him all the way to the second one.
Mike Jenkins in second, CJ Greaves in third. There's Chad Horde with a hurt wing out there in fourth. 4 good tires from our, looks like the AMSOIL of Scott Douglas back there in fifth, losing a position in the pits.
Yeah, Jenkins is very much locking the position down. Chad Horde battling with CJ Greaves with 3 wings.
Here's where he should be hurting, right? Yeah.
Wow, on this corner right. Oh, baby!
He had enough to give him a nudge, huh?
Oh, it was there for the take. And again, CJ kind of nose heavy coming off that tabletop.
Saw a little pump of smoke again out of the Catmobile.
This is where that sidewall, that left front isn't as disadvantaged as normally. But Douglas isn't exactly setting the world on fire right now, back in that fifth spot.
And you see that sometime in Indy cars. You know, they need the downforce with those wings, you know, and the aerodynamics. But sometimes they'll run pretty darn good with a broken wing or something.
Yeah.
So
changes
maybe
things just the right way.
Maybe that's the case. Look at this. The battle for second's getting closer. CJ tries to dive to the inside. And you can do that a little easier in a Pro 4-wheel dive.
Oh, man, there's smoke out of Douglas. There's something besides tire smoke coming from Douglas right now. How was Chad Horde able to hang on?
Oh, he got a big turn towards that wall. Look at this, trying to run the high line. Is Greaves pushing high as Mike Jenkins are going to touch.
You knew that was coming. CJ saw the happening. Jenkins drifted way out to the wall. CJ, you know what? I'm going for it and has got it. But here comes Jenkins.
What a line. What a racing line by Mike Jenkins. He accepted the pass.
He hopped tires just for a moment. They hopped out and he done it again.
Bicycles are free.
The right front of Jenkins jumped over the left rear of Greaves. And they're both still able to go.
And Chad Horde gets even closer.
Jeez.
With a left front that just is getting all wrinkled up.
That is a Maxxis tire commercial in the making right there from Chad Horde. If he can end up on the podium, can you imagine?
Well, he might have it right here. Look, He's going to get a good drive. Mike was sideways. Chad's going to get the drive. Oh, man.
Oh, no, that smoke coming from that sidewall is getting a lot
But he's
thicker,
doing good with it.
A lot heavier.
He's actually going faster with it than I expected.
It's about to go.
Oh, no. Scott Douglas was not very patient right there, and Chad got the bad end of the deal. And Mike's not going to be happy with Scott Douglas, I can promise you that. Fastest lap of the race that last time around, I believe Johnny Greaves of 40.69, but CJ just went up some of 40.40.
That sidewall. There's our Johnny well up front. The gap back to second, 2.2 seconds. The father and son show once again.
Yeah, but 0.2 of a second. You've got 4 laps left. You can make up 8/10. I'm not good at math, but that math doesn't add up for the win. But things happen. I mean, that's just 2 guys that are racing hard in 0.2 of a second. Somebody makes a bobble, that difference is even bigger. There's Scott Douglas, who I believe finished 3rd last night, in 3rd right now.
We had a change of attitude this year. He's got a brand new truck, brand new crew, still spitting a little smoke. But the thing is, he's been the kind of guy who's been very, very patient over his entire career. People hit him. People like, has he got a right front going down again, or just not a lot of pressure through turn 1 and 2? Let's keep an eye on that.
His crew about to say, I told you to set to air pressure.
No, he's still holding there.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
the thing is, his attitude changed. You know what? I'm not going to receive the grief and the bull that I get every single race like I have in the past. This year, I'm going to be giving it. So he's going to be the aggressor instead of the receiver in 2015. He kind of showed that just a moment ago.
Well, Douglas is back in third. That means he's chasing the 22 of Johnny Greaves and C.J. Greaves in second. Both Greaves trying to take the win here. There's the 22 of Johnny, and C.J. is closing in.
He has cut off over a second on the last 2 laps as it's running out.
The next time around, though, they're going to get the white flag, so only a lap and a half remaining in this Pro 4-wheel drive. Remember, autograph signing after the race, as well as a track walk if you want as well. Look, CJ's closing in. He does it in that whoop section and into that right-hand turn. I think he's got a little bit better line.
Up over the tabletop, here we go, into that final corner, up on turn 4 of the oval. CJ's making it grow. White flag is out. Johnny slight push into the corner. CJ hanging it out nicely through turn 1 and 2 of the oval. Douglas running in third once again. He's been Mr. Consistent all season long on that final spot on the box. Only has 1 win for the season. CJ, again, still closing, but I think time is going to run out.
Johnny Greaves is 8 points arrears from his son in the championship point standings, trying to go back-to-back in the Pro 4s. He will gain 2 points if he can make this left-hand turn and take another victory here. So the left is good. No contact with the wall, and the 3rd race victory of the season for Johnny Greaves in that Monster Energy Toyota. Second goes.
Oh, how about this? Here comes Jenkins on the in third. So Douglas having issues. Lost a spot in the last lap, so he'll come across in 4th.
Wonder if he was told to give up that position. Do they do that?
There's a possibility. There is a listen-only speaker in the helmets for these drivers. They can listen, only listen to the race control. They can't talk back. It has to be listen only.
And we're next to race control too, but I'm looking over there and I'm not seeing anything. But I'm wondering if that was maybe a message to give up position. Bonsai Willie into there, but it's racing. We got to make those decisions. Johnny Greaves made the best decisions of the night, takes the win. C.J. Greaves in second, Mike Jenkins third, Scott Douglas fourth, and rounding out the top 5. Unfortunate for him because he was fast tonight. Chad Horde in 5th. So a quick reminder also, get your event shirts down there at the Racing Dirty trailer. The guys will be signing autographs as well. You can walk the track, get some fiberglass parts signed. TORC, the Off-Road Championship, presented by Amsoil, continues right after this.
Yeah. We'll have to be great together.
When you're stuck with a dead battery, Pep Boys has the one you need and the human decency to install it for free. Trust the boys to get you there.
K&N Performance Air Intake Systems. For more airflow in, more horsepower out. Guaranteed.
One of the most important routines I always follow is checking my tires. The same way you take a few moments to check your mirror position and buckle up, you should also make it a point to check your tires before every long road trip and at least once a month. Tires and know before you go. See you on the road.
Well, there's the Monster Energy Toyota truck, the 22 of Johnny Greaves. The fans down there trying to get a really up-close look. You can also see Johnny down there in the pits following this trophy presentation. We'll do the interviews, as always, with Kate Osborne for the Fox crew. CJ giving him some congratulations. Say, good job, old man. I thought I had you, but he didn't. Not this time. Not this time. A good race throughout the pack, and And we did not hear.
How about that? A big hug from Kathy to was that Brad? I think it was Brad, one of the crew chiefs on the team. That guy has been with them forever and just worked so hard for the Monster Energy team.
CJ is going to lose 2 points in the championship hunt in Pro 4-wheel drive. He had 186 coming in to tonight. Johnny had 178, so that 8 will turn into a 6-point differential. Scott Douglas, we're trying to, we were just wondering if he gave up position because he looked like he was in a solid third, but I'm not hearing anything that he did give position, but we're trying to look and see what just happened with him. All right, our top 3 is down there. We're going to step away for a bit and be back here in just a minute.
Carbon is the enemy of any fuel system, zapping the power and performance out of your engine. With MotorMedic's new Fuel Pro Complete, the professional-grade fuel system cleaning kit, you can take back the power in just 5 minutes with 2 easy steps. Fuel Pro Complete from MotorMedic. Find it at your local auto supply store.
I love the people at Ide Industries. They're official race canopy, sponsor of TORC, the Off-Road Championship. You know, a lot of these drivers out here, I never knew who made the best canopies. Now I know it's Ide Industries.
And Pep Boys, are you a hardcore racer, a weekend street warrior, or an off-road enthusiast? Well, the Pep Boys Speed Shop has you covered with thousands of performance and off-road parts. Don't wait for mail order to arrive. Check out the thousands of in-stock speed performance and off-road parts. All brands you want to keep you going. Go to pepboys.com/speedshop to check out all the Speed Shop locations nationwide. Proud to be a TORC Series sponsor.
Hey, visit coopertire.com to locate a dealer near you. You know, they did well out here tonight. Doug Matag starts off the night with a victory. That's what he's running. That's what he wants you to run as well. Let's send it down to Miss TORC, Tiffany Stone, with our podium of the Pro 4.
And for our last podium finishers, we do have some 3 great drivers out here. 3rd place podium finish winner, Mr. Mike Jenkins. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
You know, with what happened in last night's race, what did you do to prepare for tonight?
You know, we just went back and pulled a transmission out. We had something that was dragging us down. We don't know still right now if it was something with our new fuel injection that we implemented this weekend or whether it was a transmission. But nonetheless, we started fresh today, and we just ran hard and gave it what we had. We just couldn't quite keep up with these two Toyota guys. I tell you, this Greaves family makes some fast rabbits you have to chase down. They're difficult.
I see that you had a little bit of battle over here with Douglas. You know, you were in 4th and then 3rd and 4th and 3rd, and then in that last turn you came with a 3rd. What were you thinking during that time?
You know, I felt myself be used a little bit for a break in that corner, and that happens to all of us. You know, you're sitting there in the back and you're trying to go forward, and you're looking at that box and not being on it, and you get a little bit aggressive. And he probably got a little aggressive behind me. I know he and Chad were back there. I just know I looked up, and I'm laying up here on the side like this on 2 wheels, and I see a way to drive out of it, and I saw those 2 guys drive past me, and, you know, hey, fair play happened. Looks like Douglas might have broke his front diff and put himself in the wall on the last lap, so I got back for the podium spot. So.
Well, congratulations again, and good luck into the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And for our 2nd place podium finish winner, CJ Greaves. Congratulations, CJ, again for this back-to-back. I know you drive Pro 2 and Pro 4. How different is it when you go into the Pro 4 coming off of a Pro 2?
It's a whole different ballgame there. Pro 2 is like having an eggshell underneath your foot and trying not to crack it the whole time. But Pro 4, you get to use all the throttle all the time. And Toyota puts a killer engine underneath our trucks, and we just love to use it all in every race. And hopefully we put on a show for you guys. I thought I had a little bit more left in the tank, but just couldn't catch the old man today. But I got him yesterday. He got me today. It'll be a wash on points, and we'll keep moving forward. So couldn't do it without all my sponsors, Maxxis, Toyota, Forest County Potawatomi, Monster, Method Race Wheels, AMSOIL, all you fans for coming out here. Devin, my mechanic that just kills his truck. Hats off to him, too.
Congratulations. Good luck in the future. And, of course, our 1st place winner, Mr. Johnny Greaves. Is that because you didn't ground him from last night?
I should have seen that coming because we had a little contest going at Crandon and everyone got wet.
Congratulations on this win. You know, I know that you and you and CJ, you know, battle every time. What were you thinking about this race? I know you were in the front. You're looking behind you. What goes through your mind?
Where's CJ at? You know, it was good. I finally, you know, when I got out in front and I got a little room and I had Mike pressure me the whole time, and I knew CJ was back there, and he stayed back there through the yellow. I said, well, we're running a pretty good pace if he hasn't, you know, caught up to us yet. So I just stuck to what I was doing and hope that was good enough. But, you know, I got to give it up to a couple special guys that came out here, the boys from TRD that build these motors, Don and his crew at Golden Shamrock, and they do an awesome job. You hear that thing, I got its neck wrung the whole time it's out there, and it just keeps running, and I just love that thing. So thanks to all you fans for coming out. Maxxis Tire did a great job, Monster Energy, everybody on board, and I just can't wait to get back in it again.
Congratulations, and good luck into the future.
I'm professional drifter Ryan Turk, and I use VP fuels.
When I'm out there racing, God, I love the sound.
What Borla does with the sound of this exhaust. There's a linear relationship between what's going on in the engine to what's going on in the exhaust.
When I hear that engine scream and get above 6,000 RPM, it's the sound of power.
So all you need to know is tune yourself to the exhaust. What a great product, well engineered.
Whether you're a professional driver tearing up the hot mud of the track or a daily driver hitting the cool city streets at night, we built the tire for both of you. At Arturo Tires, we believe great tires do not have to cost a great deal of money. A proven winner, a tire able to handle anything you throw at it on the street or trail. An Arturo Tire, performance within reach.
And now the moment that the drivers and the fans have been waiting for. Time to pop the champagne and that sparkling apple cider for CJ. Congratulations, Mike, CJ, and Johnny, taking the podium finishes here. And Mike might have had one of the best quotes of the night. You know, I got hit. He blew his diff. He hit the wall, so I got my position back. So I was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of subliminal messages that kind of like dig on each other. But you know something, they'll talk in the pits, they'll hang out, they'll have their own champagne and hang out with each other. But all that changes every single time they hit the track.
Yeah, and I like that. And I was talking about Scott Douglas that Mike was referring to and losing that position. Yeah, kudos to the TRD crew, because you and I both talk about it every week and just how strong those Toyota motors are. TORC, the Off-Road Championship, is brought to you by KMC Wheels, like no other. And by Boost. Get unlimited talk, text, and data with Boost Mobile. And by Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And by AMSOIL, the pulse of performance. Beautiful night. And hey, get some bonus.
Hey there.
How you doing? Give girls getting a shot with Mikey. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors to help make this event possible. Of course, AMSOIL. You know, you can win a trip for two to participate in the 2015 AMSOIL America Adventure. A 6-day driving competition takes teams across the country and challenges them to new clues and prizes each day. You can enter to win at AMSOILRacing.com.
I'd like to be able to do that with you and me and my
absolutely.
Mustang.
Bring it
Sticker
on.
up that Mustang. Yeah. And how about Cooper Tire? Follow the action of your favorite Cooper Tire driver on Twitter at Team Cooper Tire. Cooper Tire, an official tire sponsor of the TORC Series. Visit CooperTire.com to locate a dealer near you.
I know Brandon probably picked the winner of that contest we were doing earlier. I can remember, Brandon, I don't see you down there, but Borla Exhaust and Borla Performance has long been the manufacturer of high-performance stainless steel exhaust that smashed the competition when it comes to both sound and durability. You can stop by the Borla booth in the vendor area to find the perfect note for your vehicle, and be sure to enter for a chance to win a free exhaust. Borla, building excitement.
And we know you love racing, but you love rubbing it in your friend's face that you're here and they're not, even more. And I see you be that kind of guy.
I'm that guy.
With unlimited data from Boost Mobile, you'll be able to post all the action shots from right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Maybe next time your friend will join you here instead of maybe going to bingo with his grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month when you sign up for the Auto Reboost. Visit your local Boost Mobile retailer for details. You are such that guy.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah, these fans had a good time.
Hey, did you guys have fun? How about that?
They're about to hit that track wall, go check out, party at the Choder
Oh,
home.
they're about to open the gate back there. Look at turn 3.
Oh, my gosh. and you need to make some. If you can be the first one to the flag stand, I'll give you a Scott Rain autographed picture. No, I'm joking.
Everybody starts walking away. What the dude? What's that about?
Why do they go the other direction?
Whoa. Some guy's hiking up his shorts, getting ready to really let it rip.
Sprint. Oh, yeah. That definitely was a dude. You know, we talked about Borla exhaust earlier. I know you got to have that sweet sound. You need a nice flowing exhaust, but you also need that sweet sound, and the people at Borla can definitely help you take care of that. They've got the sound as well as the durability. You can stop by the Borla booth at the vendor area to find the perfect note for your vehicle. Be sure to enter a chance to win a free exhaust. Borla, building excitement. And Kenda Tires, not only one of our sponsors, but also of Sean Morris. I mean, he proved that he had what it took tonight to get up on top of that victory podium.
A lot of people here tonight who hope they had a great time.
Yeah, but couldn't quite make the top step, but he showed that he had the truck, he had the tires, just maybe not quite the lines that he needed to take that win, but a nice second-place finish for the 27 of Sean Morris. And Kenda Tires, designed for your journey. And Eyed Canopies, the official race canopy sponsor of TORC, the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL. They're an award-winning fabricator of transport trailer canopy systems, corporate hospitality tents, whatever. It might be mobile marketing exhibits, custom shade structures. Eyed provides pro hospitality for pro teams. Visit them online at www.racecanopies.com. And also the people at Impact. You can check out those good-looking uniforms that the TORC safety officials were wearing tonight. If you need something like that for your personal safety, give our good friends at Impact Racing a call and get your custom-designed driver a crew suit today. You can visit them at impactraceproducts.com.
I love that scene.
And they're about to be off. And you know, I'm not seeing many body parts, and I'm not talking about human body parts. I'm talking about fiberglass parts. We didn't lose too much, but you know, usually out there in the pits, you can find it.
That doesn't mean that the teams that they had a great time, they had a great weekend. Mike Jenkins is notorious for allowing his guys to take those doors off, cut them in half, or give them the hoods, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Let everybody know what a good time you've had.
So don't be afraid to hang out with some of these race teams, because that's what it's going to be.
Yep. Make sure you get your T-shirt down there at Racing Dirty. Let everybody know what a great time you've had here at TORC, the Off-Road Championship, presented by AMSOIL. Scott, another successful night, another night where the track did not get dry at all on a really pretty hot day, 100-degree day. Wind was blowing. The track held its own tonight.
Jeff Nordstrom, hell of a job, guys.
Two thumbs up. Very nice.
Yeah, two thumbs up, buddy.
As a mess, Jenqui. That's it here from Charlotte. We had a great night of racing. Starting with the pro lights, taking the green flag was Bobby Runyon Jr., but Doug Matag proves again he had the fastest pro light this weekend here in Charlotte.
You had the fastest Pro 2 and Pro Light. I mean, the kid is so young, and CJ Greaves, Doug Matag, we're going to have a hell of a season.
Hey, Ari Leindyke Jr. had, I think, the best driving race of TORC the Off-Road, his career in TORC the Off-Road Championship.
Yes, absolutely.
But it just did not pay off at the end. Look at CJ Greaves. He wasn't able to take the win. Johnny was. CJ worked his way up through the field for Scott Rain, Kate Osborne, Miss TORC. I'm Robbie Floyd. We'll see you next time in Sturgis.